Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing something very different and highly requested, and that is the analysis of Hamlet. So before we start, please like, subscribe and comment as well, to iron out the first misconception. Hamlet is a drama. It's not a novel, and therefore it consists of acts and scenes and not chapters. Please understand that. This is a drama that must be performed to an audience on a stage. Okay? And therefore, you have Act 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you have different scenes within those acts. You will not have chapters. It must be performed to an audience on a stage. And I want to emphasize this because later there's going to be a question on the stage production and on dramatic irony, and you need to understand this. Okay, but now you need to understand this before reading the play. Okay, here we go. Some historical context. Before the play, there was a war between Denmark and Norway. Denmark and Norway. If you know your geography, you will understand that they're on the same borderline. They're on the same borderline because they are part of what we call the Scandinavian countries, the Viking countries, as some people say. So you have Denmark and you have Norway. What they have in common is that to date they have what we call a monarchy. So a monarchy is when you have a king and a queen and not a president. So you have a king, queen and a prime minister. In Norway and in Denmark and in the Scandinavian country, you have what is known as a monarchy. Okay, this is what you need to know before the play, before reading Hamlet. So Denmark and Norway went to war. Okay, you have King Hamlet from Denmark and King Fortinbras from Norway. What happened? King Hamlet from Denmark defeated King Fortinbras from Norway, and by defeat I mean killed him. The agreement was, if you defeat the other, you seize the land of the next country. In other words, because Denmark defeated Norway, Denmark is going to occupy Norwegian land. Got it? King Hamlet killed King Fortinbras from Norway. If you look at the great chain of events, the monarchy, what must happen now is that in Norway, Prince Fortinbras, the son of the king, must take over the throne. Okay, by law, Prince Fortinbras, he must take over the throne from his father. Okay, by law. King Hamlet, after defeating Fortinbras, he passed away. It is reported that he was bitten by a snake. So he was sleeping in his orchard and he was bitten by a snake. and tragically lost his life. Okay? By law. The same thing must happen now. Prince Hamlet must take over. By law. This is a monarchy. Okay? In both cases, this does not materialize. In fact, in Norway, the uncle takes over, and in Denmark, the same thing happens where King Hamlet's brother, Prince Hamlet's uncle, takes over the throne. Okay? And remember, he was bitten by a snake. That is the rumor that is delivered throughout the Arsenal Castle. So, grade 12s, I made a point where I mentioned that this is a production. It is a play. Therefore, sometimes we as the audience, we know what is happening. We understand the plot and we understand the intention of the characters. Sometimes the characters are oblivious to what is happening. When we know the intention and what is happening, and the characters are oblivious and unaware, it is called dramatic irony. Dramatic irony. Audience aware, but not the characters. Okay? Now, the play begins in the Arsenal Castle in Denmark, and it is cold. It is gloomy. It is sinister. And you have guards patrolling the Arsenal Castle. But these guards, it feels as if they are anticipating something to appear. So, for example, in Denmark, at the Arsenal Castle, Bernardo, one of the guards, he's patrolling, but it's cold and it's nippy, and it feels as if he is anticipating something. Okay? So and then he hears something in the far distance, and he says, "Who's there?" And Francisco, another guard, is there to relieve him. Okay? So Bernardo is there. He's anticipating. There's something in the distance. Who's there? The who's there is absolutely important because it's the opening line. Let me unpack this. Who's there is referring to, for example, who's there? Is it the ghost or someone else? Because the ghost made an appearance already before the play. And many people don't know this. The ghost appeared before the production of the play. So the gods, they are fully aware and they are anticipating a second, third, fourth appearance. The ghost appeared twice before the play. And now they are anticipating another appearance. So when Bernardo says, "Who's there?" he's basically like, who's there? The ghost again? Or is it someone else? In this time, Francisco is there to relieve him. Okay? As Francisco is there to relieve him, Marcellus, another god, and Horatio approaches them as well. So now you have Bernardo there, you have Francisco there, you have Marcellus there, and you have Horatio there. Okay? And Bernardo, Marcellus, and Francisco, they inform Horatio about the appearance of the ghost. Now here's key. The reason why they inform Horatio is because Horatio, two things. Horatio is Hamlet's best friend. So they studied together in Germany at the Wittenberg University. So the reason why they reporting the appearance of the ghost to him is because he is friends with Prince Hamlet. And number two, because he is educated. So now this ghost, it is the spirit of the late king. It is the spirit of the late king. And the ghost appeared wearing the same armor he had on when he defeated King Fortinbras. But the problem is, this king is not uttering a word. This king is standing there, not uttering a word. Frown and wearing the armor, indicating that it is indeed the spirit of the late king. The question would be, why is the ghost appearing? What is the intention? Okay, before we get there, before the appearance of the ghost, they inform Horatio about the appearance, and he says, "Is this your fantasy? Dash, it will not appear." So Horatio is in disbelief. He's like, "What are you talking about? It is a fantasy. It is in your head. Dash, it will not appear." And then the ghost appeared in front of Horatio, and he says, "Oh my God, if I did not see this, I wouldn't have believed it with my own eyes. Oh my God." So Horatio is a very interesting character. 1 minute ago, he was in disbelief, and all of a sudden he's going to explain why the ghost appeared. 1 minute ago, he was in disbelief, and now he's going to explain the appearance of the ghost. And he says, "This brought some strange eruption to our state. I think I know why the ghost appeared." According to Horatio, the ghost appeared to warn Denmark that Norway is planning a revenge. So in Denmark, they are gathering the troops. And in Norway, they're gathering troops and guns and cannons and men. Okay? And according to Horatio, Norway is planning revenge for the lost land. But we know the real intention. That's untrue. We know the intention is the ghost is there to declare how he died and who killed him. He was not bitten by a snake. In fact, his uncle, his brother, Prince Hamlet's uncle, Claudius, poured poison in his ear while he was sleeping. He seized the throne and married Hamlet's mother, Prince Hamlet's mother, King Hamlet's wife. Horatio says Norway's planning revenge. What do we call that? When the audience is aware but not the characters. Dramatic irony. This ghost appears once more and doesn't speak at all. They even try to encourage Horatio to speak to it. Speak to it, Horatio. Speak to it. Thou art a scholar. You are educated. Speak to it, Horatio. The ghost did not speak. Horatio then decides that I think it's best that we inform Prince Hamlet about the appearance of the ghost. This spirit will definitely speak to him. as it is not speaking to us. Grade 12s, like, subscribe, and comment. Cheers.